सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपराम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Let's take a sankalp. Namaste everyone. So we are currently looking at the topic of Jeeva Vichaara, that is the analysis of the individual. We've already seen the first aspect of analysis, that is looking at the individual from the angle of the Sharira Trayam, the three bodies, the Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Shariram. Now we are looking at analyzing the individual on the basis of the Avastha, on the basis of the nature of experience, on the basis of the condition, the state in which the individual is. And we've already seen the JAAGRAT Avastha. So we are analyzing the avasthas, the state of experiences, based on these three factors: the condition of the mind, the nature of experience, and the dominant medium. Okay. So in Jagrat Avastha, that is the waking state, we all are aware कि क्या होता है जागृत अवस्था में. The condition of the mind, all the faculties of the antakarana, means all the four faculties. Which are the four faculties? The mana, buddhi, chittam and ahankara. So all these four faculties of the antakarana, they are fully active. They are fully functional. Okay. So the mind is completely open in Jagrat Avastha. Then what is the nature of experience? We saw that the nature of experience, it is external. We are experiencing the Bahya Prapancha, the external universe. And also we are receiving experiences from the Bahya Prapancha, and we are also giving out responses to the Bahya Prapancha. So the nature of experience is external. So we also said that we are both karta as well as bhokta in the Jagrat Avastha. We are giving out responses and we are receiving experiences. So we are karta and bhokta both, and the experiences are external. Then we said that the experiences are concrete. Concrete means it is not like a thought. It is not abstract. It is tangible. You can perceive it. You can feel it. So everything that we experience in the Bahya Prapancha, in the external universe, it is all tangible, concrete experience, right? Then it is all objective experience. If I am experiencing the table, everyone else can also experience it. If I am experiencing the Himalayas, Everyone else also can experience it. It is an objective experience. And then we said it is a sense organ based experience. Whatever we are receiving, the entire external universe is entering us through the sense organs. So the experience that we receive in the Jagrat Avastha, it is sense organ based experience. Then we saw what is the dominant medium in Jagrat Avastha. So obviously in the waking state, the gross body, the sthula shariram is the Jagrat Avastha. It is the sthula shariram through which we experience the Bahya Prapancha, the external world in the waking state, right? So this is what we saw as far as the Jagrat Avastha, the waking state is concerned. Okay. Then we were looking at the Swapna Avastha. We've just started to look at the Swapna Avastha. So we said that what is the condition of the mind in the dream state? So we said that all the faculties of the mind except the chittam, except the memory faculty, all the other faculties, they are resolved. They are as though not there. So they are not functioning. Only the chittam is functioning. So whatever experiences that we have gathered in the Jagrat Avastha, the waking state, whatever experiences, be it the external experiences which we gain through our five senses, or even the emotional experiences, all those experiences, they get registered in this memory slab of our mind, the chittam. So in the Jagrat Avastha, this chittam, it records all that. It registers the shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, everything. And also the emotions, the feelings, they are also registered. And then whatever is registered in this waking state, that is then thrown out in the dream state. So whatever we experience in the waking state, that gets recorded, and then like a player, it just replays it. It just plays it in the dream state. So whatever experiences that we have, or whatever emotions that we have in the dream, they are not freshly received emotions from the external world at that time. We are only replaying the recorded emotion. Understand that there is nothing fresh that is coming in. We are only replaying that whatever is recorded. So everything that happens in the dream, that comes only from the memory. Okay. So all the other faculties of the antakaranam, that is the emotions, okay, there is a question. So I assume these emotions are, one second. So I assume these emotions are what we feel versus what happened. Yeah, what we felt before. Correct. So it's just a recollection of what we have already experienced. And all the other faculties, like the manaha. So manaha is not operational in the dream state. We are not gathering any fresh emotions. There are no fresh doubts being generated. It is not operational. Same way the buddhi, the rational faculty, the intellect is also not functioning. And the antakaranam, the ahankara, mamakara, the I faculty is also not functioning. The ego, so this might not be very acceptable, because we see ourselves also in the dream. So many times we see ourselves also. So the thing is, that is just a projection of ourselves that we have. It is not a fresh experience of ourselves that we are seeing. Okay. So the dreamer is associating with the dream charvi. It's not me, the Charvi, the Waker Charvi that is there in the dream. So we are associating with that projection, the memory that we have of ourselves. Okay, so there is no fresh ego also. So ahankara is not there, mamakara is also not there. So out of the 4 faculties of the antakaranam, only the chittam or the memory faculty is functional. So if we compare it to the Jagrat Avastha mein kya tha? All the 4 faculties of the antakaranam were fully functional. They were fully active. But in Swapna Avastha, the mind is only partially functioning. Only the chittam faculty is active and functioning. So this is the condition of the mind in Swapna Avastha. Then we have to look at the nature of experience in Swapna Avastha, in the dream state. Now, obviously, in the dream state, we experience a world which is internal, right? Because the world is generated out of my own personal or private memory, right? So it is not something which is existing outside. Whatever I experience is an internal experience. There is no connection only between the dream objects that I have and the surroundings that I have. Like, for example, I might be sleeping in Mumbai and my dream may be connected to Himalayas because it is an internal world, right? So it has no connection to the outside. So that is the first aspect of the nature of experience. It is an internal experience. Okay. Now, the second aspect is that since this internal world is made up of our own memory, our own thoughts, they are not concrete. The experience is an abstract experience. The external world, it was a material world, right? So it was a concrete world. But the internal world is a memory projection. So it is an abstract thing. Thoughts are not tangible, right? Our dreams are not tangible. Therefore, thought-generated object is also not tangible. It is not touchable. It is not perceptible like that. So the experience is an internal and abstract experience. मतलब सपने के महल में हम actually रह नहीं सकते हैं ना. So you can't touch the walls of a dream palace. It is not concrete. It is abstract. Okay, it is internal firstly. Secondly, it is abstract. Then in Jagrat Avastha, the world that we saw, the Bhakya Prapancha, it was an objective world, the objective universe. It was common to all people. Whereas in the dream world, the world that we experience in the dream, it is available only for me, right? It is not accessible to other people. However close the person is to us, still we cannot share our dream experience with them, no? जैसे इन जागृत अवस्था अगर हम दोनों हिमालयस पे गए हैं तो both of us can experience the Himalayas together. But in my dream, even if I am looking at the Himalayas, even if I see that both of us have gone to the Himalayas together in my dream, or even if you're sleeping right besides me, still you will not see the Himalayas, right? So it is a very, very subjective experience. So in the dream state, whatever universe that we experience, whatever we see, it is a subjective experience, personal universe. Okay, so the nature of experience, firstly, it is internal, then it is abstract, and then it is subjective. Okay. Now, in Jagrat Avastha, we said that it is a state which is Indriyajanya. It is experienced through the sense organs, right? So it is sense organ based experience. But in this dream state, it is not a sense organ based universe like Jagrat Avastha, but it is memory based universe. It is a memory based experience. So it is called Vasana Janyam. It is not Indriya Janyam, it is Vasana Janyam. It is a memory based experience. Because whatever we experience in the dream, it is all based on our experience in the waking state only, whatever is recorded by the Chittam. So in Jagrat Avastha, we collect experiences, and in Swapna Avastha, we recollect those experiences. There is a recollection happening of those experiences. And you cannot recollect what you have not collected, right? So you have to have that experience in Jagrat Avastha in order to recollect it in the Swapna Avastha. That is a statement that is made by the Shastra. So in the dream state, you experience only those things that you have registered in the waking state and nothing new. Now, sometimes we may get a doubt at this statement. Ki, nahi, aisa nahi hai. I mean, so many times in my dream, I experience random dreams. Like, jo maine kabhi bhi in the waking state, I have never seen anything like that. Or I have never even experienced those kind of emotions. So, how does that happen? I mean, how can you say that there is nothing new? So to that, the Shastra, it clarifies that. So there might be, we may get so many rare dreams, right? Which we have not experienced in the waking state. So that could be because of the following few reasons, okay? The first reason could be that you create a new dream object by combining various things that you have already experienced in the Jagrat Avastha. For example, you have seen a man in your Jagrat Avastha. You have also seen a lion in your Jagrat Avastha. But in your dream, you may see a weird creature with a man's body and a lion's head. Now you might argue that no, I have never seen a creature like this in my life ever. But you have seen a lion, you have seen a man, and in the dream, it is not a new object, but it is just a combination of different objects from your memory. So they have just superimposed themselves and apparently created a new object. There is no literal new object. Literally new objects cannot be experienced in the dream state. So dream objects are memory based, they are thought based. And thoughts or memory, they are highly fluid, no? They're fluid. And dream objects are always fluid objects. So they get all jumbled up. All of us experience that dreams are always very fluid, very jumbled up. They are not like properly organized or concrete or anything, very fluid. So this is the reason. Now, the second reason, when a person says that, no, I experienced an entirely new thing. I am sure that it is not even a combination of anything that I have seen in my waking world. So then we say that sometimes whenever we imagine something also, in our Jagrat Avastha, we are all the time even imagining things, right? So whenever we imagine something in our Jagrat Avastha, and we imagine it very vividly, very strongly. So that also gets saved in the memory, and that itself gets projected in the dream state. So we have a very strong and vivid imagination power. And those imaginations, they can get registered in our Chittam and thrown out in the form of dreams. Now, suppose somebody is harming me a lot or troubling me in the Jagrat Avastha, insulting me, harassing me, and like back of my mind, I want to really beat up that person. So I imagine that okay, I'm punching this person, but really I cannot do it in reality because probably that person is much stronger than me, or probably I'm like really aligned to dharma. So atmani pratikulani paresham na samacharet. I'm not going to do to others what I don't want others to do to me. So nonetheless, I don't harm that person, but randomly in my imagination, I just want to punch that person. And now that imagination has gone so much, like it has been registered by my chittam. And in my swapna avastha, I just see myself punching that person. So whatever is fantasized, whatever is imagined, or even whatever we read in books, which leads to imaginations, or whatever is seen in movies, all those experiences, all those imaginations, they can all also come up in swapna avastha. Right? So they are also experiences of the Jagrat avastha only, which are projected in the swapna avastha. So this is the second reason. Now the third reason could be that sometimes, even if we have not experienced anything like this in this janma, according to the Shastra, the experiences of the previous janma also can come in our dream avastha, in our swapna avastha. Because we saw in the Sharira Trayam that between previous janma and this janma, only the physical body, the sthula shariram is different. The subtle body continues. So, Purva Janma Anubhava could also lead to certain dreams. Although there is no way to verify this, but we see all the time that little babies, even newborn babies, right? When they are sleeping, if you would have observed them, they are suddenly crying in their sleep, or at least they make a sad face, or they, for no reason, they are laughing, they are smiling in their sleep. So when we observe them, they are doing all these things. So that means they are experiencing something in their dream state, right? But we know that dream is just a projection of memory. So abhi ye newborn bacche ka to naya memory hi nahi bana hai. There is nothing come in the chittam from this janma. So we say that the reason is all those things are attributed to the previous janma memory. Because the present janma memory has not yet started forming. So Purva Janma Smaranam, memories of some past lives, they are being projected. And that is why they are smiling or they are crying or whatever. Now again, this cannot be verified because by the time the child grows up to say that, yes, I had those kind of dreams, the child has forgotten the experiences. So this cannot be verified like that. So this is the nature of our swapna avastha. It is internal, it is abstract, it is subjective, personal, and it is memory based. It is not sense organ based. And the third thing that we have to look into is what is the dominant medium in swapna avastha. Now, since swapna, it is memory based and memory belongs to the chittam and chittam belongs to the sukshma shariram. So that means swapna is predominantly sukshma shariram based. It is a sukshma sharira pradhana avastha. Okay, let us see how Tattva Bodha defines swapna avastha. Yeah. Yeah, this is clear, no? The condition of the mind, that it is only partially functioning, only the chittam faculty is active and functional. Then the nature of experience is internal, abstract, subjective, and memory based, vasna janya. not sense organ based. And the dominant medium is the Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body. Okay, now this is what Tattvabodha says. So like I said, it's in the form of question and answer. So it is asking, Swapnavastha 𝐤𝐻𝐴𝐧𝐻. So what is Swapnavastha? So then the answer is, Jagrat avasthayam yad drishtam yad shrutam, means whatever I see in the Jagrat avastha, means yad drishtam, or whatever I hear in the Jagrat avastha, yad shrutam. So Jagrat avasthayam yad drishtam yad shrutam tad janita vasanaya nidra samaye yah prapancha pratiyate sa swapnavastha. Means nidra samaye, whatever the world that is projected while I am in sleep. But what world? The world from the impressions which are born of what I have seen or what I have heard in the waking state. That is called the dream state. So this is how Tattvabodha defines it. And one additional note also, which we'll talk about at the end of this topic, that the self, when the self identifies with the subtle body, that self in the dream state, that self is called Taijasa. Okay, just remember these names. In the Jagrat Avastha, we said the self that associates with the Jagrat Avastha is called Vishwa. Here, the self that identifies with the subtle body is called Taijasa. Okay, just remember these names. ठीक है. So with this, the Jagrat Avastha and Swapna Avastha is done. So any doubts as far as Jagrat and Swapna Avastha? No doubts. Clear. Now let us look at the third state, the Sushupti Avastha. So sometimes in English we call it deep sleep state. We just add the word deep to indicate that it is dreamless sleep. Okay, we call it deep sleep state. To just show that it is different from Swapna Avastha. Deep sleep means dreamless sleep state. Okay, that is Sushupti Avastha. Now let us find out what is the condition of the mind in this state. In Jagrat Avastha, the mind is fully functional. In Swapna Avastha, the mind is partially functional. But in Sushupti Avastha, the mind is fully non-functional. Absolutely non-functional. Totally non-functional. Means the manaha, the emotional faculty, is not functional. Therefore, in sleep, in deep sleep, there are no emotions. Then the buddhi, the rational faculty, the intellect is not functioning. So there is no reasoning happening in this state. Then chittam is also not functioning. So there is no memory collection also and no memory recollection or projection also. None of that is happening. We are not registering anything new. We are not even projecting anything new. And then since ahamkara, the ego faculty is also not functioning, there is not even the sense of I or mine while we are in deep sleep. This is a very, very important understanding. Okay. So when we are in deep sleep, I as Charvi, as this identifying with this body, mind, sense complex, this I totally as though disappears when we are in deep sleep. There is no I. That is the reason when we are in deep sleep, we don't even realize that I am sleeping. We can never claim that I am sleeping while I am sleeping. Only after I wake up, I can put it in past tense that I was sleeping. I can never say during sleep that I am sleeping. That means the ego has also resolved. Ego is also not functioning. The ahankara, I cannot identify with this body, mind, sense complex, or with what is mine, what we call mine, my people, my possessions. Nothing I identify with. So all these faculties, all the 4 faculties of our antakaranam, so means the mind totally, it becomes dormant. It is as though disappeared. So along with the mind, all the worries, all the tensions, all the associations of I and mine, the entire samsara also as though disappears. And that is why deep sleep state is the state of happiness. It is the ananda state, where the mind is fully non-functional. It is a state of happiness, ananda state. Okay. Now, what is the nature of experience? Now, this is clear, no? When the mind is, see, we can't say that the mind is totally not functioning at all. It is a way of saying. You have to understand that the rudimentary mind has to work to make the bodily functions happen, right? The heart needs to pump, the lungs need to function, we need to breathe. All those functions, they happen. But the mind, in the sense of the emotions, the intellect, so the entire antakaranam, that is totally non-functional. Okay. So now, what is the nature of experience in Sushupti Avastha, in deep sleep state? Now, we said that the organs are not functioning in the deep sleep state. So that means the external world is not there. The Bahya Prapancha does not exist for us in deep sleep state. कितने बार ऐसे होता है कि दूध वाला बेचारा कितना बेल मार के जाएगा, and we are in deep sleep and we don't hear a thing. Right? Also in deep sleep, what happens? Mosquitoes bite us. We don't even realize. And when we wake up, we see mosquito bite bumps. And हाँ इतना मच्छर काट गया. Or when you are in deep sleep, चोर आके तुम्हारे घर में से प्रॉपर चोरी करके चले जाएगा, फिर भी तुमको नहीं पता चलेगा. If you are in deep sleep, right? That means the sense organs are not functioning. When you are in deep sleep, you cannot hear anything. When you are in deep sleep, you cannot see anything, you cannot smell anything, you cannot even feel anything. So many times, एकदम ही ठंडी लग रहा होगा, but we are in deep sleep, we don't even feel it. And only when we wake up a little, that time we realize that, oh, I'm really cold. So none of your sense organs are functioning when you are in deep sleep. And since, so that means the external world is not there. Again, since the memory is also not functioning, the chittam is also switched off. So internal world is also not there. So there is neither this external concrete objective world, nor there is this internal abstract subjective world. So that means in deep sleep, the nature of experience is blankness. We call it ajnana anubhava. It is a state of total ignorance, total black or total blankness, like blackout, total blankness. This is the nature of experience in deep sleep. So there is nothing more to add to it, right? It is total blankness. It cannot be internal, external, subjective, objective, nothing. It is just blankness. And what is the dominant medium? Now, the sthula shariram is obviously not functioning. The sense organs are not functioning. The sukshma shariram is not functioning. Even the memory is not thrown out. But it is a Karana Sharira Pradhana Avastha. It is a state in which only the Karana Shariram is dominant, and the Sthul and the Sukshma Shariram, they are as though resolved. They are as though disappeared. See, we have to be very careful over here. We do not say that the Sthul and the Sukshma Sharirams are resolved or disappeared. They are not disappeared. They are here only. But they are as though resolved. They are not functional. They are like switched off. मतलब अगर फैन switched off है तो फैन है कि नहीं है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It is as though not there only, right? So whatever is not functioning, it is as good as resolved. So since the Sthul and the Sukshma Shariram, they are as good as resolved, only the Karana Shariram is available in this state. The Sthul and the Sukshma Shariram, they are not available. Only the Karana Shariram. And I hope you remember what is the Karana Shariram. It is the storehouse of all the avyakta, unmanifest Sthul and Sukshma Shariram. It is the bijam, the seed. So Sushupti Avastha is Karana Sharira Pradhan Avastha. And all our internal, external experiences, they remain in the dormant state in this Karana Shariram. So while we are in deep sleep, it is a storehouse, I said, right, of the Sthul and the Sukshma Shariram. So while we are in deep sleep, what happens? The Sthul and the Sukshma Shariram, they don't disappear. They don't disintegrate or die or anything. They just go in the Karana Shariram in an unmanifest state. And they come back to the manifest state from the Karana Shariram only when we wake up the next day, when we come to JAAGRAT Avastha. So our emotions, our intellect, our memory, then our association with this body-mind-sense complex, everything is as though disappeared. और ऐसा नहीं है कि वो गायब हो गए हैं. They have just gone to their unmanifested state in the Karana Shariram. This is an important understanding, so I hope it is clear. Okay, our Sthul and Sukshma Shariram has as though resolved. It has gone to an unmanifest state in the Karana Shariram. And when you wake up the next day, it gets projected out from the Karana Shariram again. Okay? So while you are in deep sleep, there is nothing. It's a state of blankness. So in Sushupti Avastha, the condition of the mind is fully non-functioning. All the aspects, all the faculties of the Antakaranam, they are non-functioning. Only the rudimentary mind is operating to keep the body alive. Then the nature of experience, it is Ajnana Anubhava, total ignorance, blankness, which we called Ananda. And the dominant medium is the Karana Shariram. It is a Karana Sharira Pradhana Avastha. And now this is how Tattvabodha defines Sushupti Avastha. Very simply it says, so Sushupti Avastha ka. So it answers that Aham kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyat iti Sushupti Avastha. Means what is Sushupti Avastha? The state about which one says that I don't know anything. I just enjoyed good sleep. That is deep sleep state. You are completely ignorant about what you were doing in your deep sleep state. Now here again, when the self identifies with the deep sleep state, it is called prajna. Okay, so Vishwa, Taijasa, and Prajna. These three words we got. Okay, is there a question? Can I say nothing gets added to the, okay, since Sushupti Avastha is a state of blankness, so we can say that there will be no experience here. Correct. There will be no experience by you as Shivani. Or there will be no experience by the dreamer Shivani also. Okay. So I can say nothing gets added to the Karana Shariram. Absolutely. Because you are not the Karta. You are not the Bhokta. So you are not creating new karmas. So no new Papa Punya. So therefore nothing gets added to the Karana Shariram. Yeah, this is a very good point. I forgot to mention in the dream state, the Swapna Avastha. So in Jagrat Avastha, we said that we are both Karta and Bhokta, right? We are doing things also, we are doers also, we are experiencers also. So what are we doing in Jagrat Avastha? We are creating new Papa Punyas also, and we are exhausting the phalams of our previous Papa Punyas also. So we are Karta as well as Bhokta. In dream state, we are not the Karta. We are just experiencing. We are just the Bhoktas. Because we are just experiencing the projections. We are not the doers. So in your dream state, in your dream, suppose you kill somebody also, right? In your dream, you kill somebody. Do you get punished for it? No. Because you are not the Karta in the dream state. It is a projection of the mind. You have not killed anybody. So you are just the Bhokta. And in the Karana Shari, in the Sushupti Avastha, you are neither the Karta nor the Bhokta. It is a state of blankness. Very important question. Yeah. Now, just for your reference, I just want to talk a little about these three terms that Tattvabodha gave: Vishwa, Taijasa, and Prajna. So when I, the Atma, identifies with Jagrat Avastha, I am called the Waker or Vishwa. Okay. See, even if this doesn't get very clear right now, just hold it. Just save it somewhere in your mind. It will get clearer when we go to the next topic, that is the topic of Atma. Okay. After we finish this Jeeva Vichaara. Okay. Now, when I, the Atma, identifies with the Jagrat Avastha, I am called the Waker or Vishwa. When I, the Atma, identify with the Swapna Avastha, I am called the Dreamer or Taijasa. And when I, the Atma, identify with the Sushupti Avastha, I am called the Sleeper or Prajna. So, Waker, Dreamer, and Sleeper, which are called Vishwa, Taijasa, and Prajna, respectively. So Vishwa is the name for the Waker. Vishwa means fully, like Vishwa. Vishwa means Purna. Okay. So because the mind is fully functional, the mind is completely open, the Waker is called Vishwa. Dreamer, which is called Taijasa. Taijasa means illumined. And the dreamer is an internally illumined person, right? So there is nothing external. The internally illumined person is called Taijasa, the dreamer. And the sleeper. The sleeper is called Prajna. Prajna means blissfully ignorant person. Prakarshena ajnana iti prajna. So blissfully ignorant person that we are when we associate with the deep sleep state. That is when we are called prajna. Okay. So this is the Avastha Trayam, the three states of experience, the three conditions that an individual experiences. So anytime that we talk about, we are in either of these three conditions only, in these three states only, either Jagrat Avastha or Swapna Avastha or Sushupti Avastha. Okay. Yes, there is a fourth Avastha which is called Turya, which we'll talk about later. We do not want to get into that right now. But for the Jeeva Vichaara, now this much is clear. The three Sharirams, absolutely clear. And the three states of experience or the three Avasthas, absolutely clear. Any doubts before I go to the next topic? Clear? Everybody? Padmini ji, Lalita ji, Hitarth ji. Okay.
Yoga Nidra is the same thing?
Yoga Nidra is the same thing as what?
As
deep sleep state? No, it is not a deep sleep state. Deep sleep state is a state of complete blankness. So, Yoga Nidra is an in-between state. Okay, we'll talk about that maybe when we speak about the Turiya Avastha or something. We'll talk about it at that time. Okay.
Is this the same as Samadhi, or Samadhi is?
No, Samadhi is the state of absolute knowledge. It is not the state of absolute ignorance. So it is, if you go to see that way, totally opposite to that. But yes, in both the states, we can say that there is Ananda. So that Ananda comes out of complete knowledge. This Ananda is out of total ignorance. This is just simple logic that you are absolutely ignorant about this samsara. Okay, where does the non-Ananda part come from? It comes from the understanding that I am limited. I am apurna. Okay, I have these problems. I am not good enough. When I associate with this body, mind, sense complex and the entire trail of samsara that comes along with this body, mind, sense complex. Now, in the deep sleep state, what happens? Your complete connection only with this samsara, with the ahankara, it is not there only. The ahankara is as though resolved. So this problem, all your problems are also as though resolved only. They are not there. They don't exist for you in your deep sleep, right? That is why we all love to sleep. That is why nobody likes to, we have to put an alarm to wake up and all that. It is a state of bliss.
So, so our external activities are also, is there any relation between our external activities with the deep sleep?
No, we say, see, when you are in deep sleep, it is almost like you are in a coma. Only those, not even like it's even deeper than what you are in a coma. In coma, also the mind registers, your sense organs register things. But in deep sleep, the shariram is almost like a dead body. So Shastra, calls this deep sleep as a mini pralay. Okay. So in pralay, what happens? Your sthula shariram, your sukshma shariram, they are disintegrated completely. That's what happens in this deep sleep state. Your sthula and sukshma sharir, they get resolved in the karana shariram. It's almost like the mini pralay. Your sukshma shariram also doesn't exist. So there is no connection with the external world at that time, no?
Thank you.
Clear?
Yes, thank you.
You know why it doesn't, generates a few doubts? Because we never experience deep sleep directly. अपने को लगता है कि नहीं, I feel things when I am in deep sleep, but you feel things when you are not in deep sleep. If you are feeling things while you are sleeping, that means it is not a deep sleep state. Okay. The Sushupti Avastha, the complete deep sleep state, is only when there is complete blankness, no experience. And every night when we sleep, there are a few hours for everybody when we are in that deep sleep state. Okay. All right. We still have some 5-6 minutes. I'll start the next topic. Just introduce it, and then we'll continue in the next class. So the next topic is Kosha Panchakam, the Pancha Koshas. So first, we've analyzed the individual based on the 3 bodies, okay, the Sharira Trayam. Then we analyze the individual based on the state of experience that the individual goes through. Now, this is the third way to analyze the individual, the Jeeva Vichaara, that is Pancha Koshas, the 5 layers of our personality. We can loosely translate it like that. So actually speaking, these Pancha Koshas or Kosha Panchakam, it is nothing but the division of the Jiva's body, just like the Sharira Trayam only, but in another format. It is just the same body is divided, but in another way, just to make it more clear, because we really need to understand. So we can't take this Jiva Vichara aspect lightly, because only based on this Jiva Vichara, we will be able to understand the Atma. That is the reason we are doing this entire Jiva Vichara. Okay, because there is no other way to define Atma. There is no other way to explain Atma with using words. Okay. So earlier we studied that the individual body, it can be divided into 3-fold bodies, right? For our understanding. The 3 bodies that we studied are the Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Sharira. Now the same body of the individual is getting divided into 5 layers. Means the personality is the same, just the angle of division is different. For example, if we take a class, okay, say the 5th standard in a particular school, if we take one class, and if we say that, okay, let me divide this class based on gender. So then what will happen? The class will get divided into 2 groups, okay, boys and girls. Now, if I say that I want to divide the same class based on the houses, जैसे सब schools में houses होते हैं ना, red house, yellow house, blue house, or whatever, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, whatever, or Sardar House, Nehru House, Gandhi House that we have in. So say we divide it based on red house, blue house, green house, yellow house. So the same class which first got divided into 2 groups, now this class will be divided into 4 based on the houses. It is the same class, but we are just dividing it based on different factors, and that just for the understanding. So when we divide the individual body based on its raw material, that time it gets divided into 3 divisions. The Sthula Shariram, which is made of the gross matter, the Sthul matter. The raw material was gross matter. Sukshma Shariram, the raw material was subtle matter. Karana Shariram, the raw material was causal matter. So we made the division based on raw materials. Matter-based division of the individual is called Sharira Trayam. Now, when we divide this same Sharira based on the functions, Okay. The functional division is called Kosha Panchakam. So when we divide it based on the functions, it gets divided into five layers. Okay, that is the Pancha Koshas. Kosha actually means a sheath. Okay, a sheath or a covering or a casing. एक केस के अंदर दूसरा केस, उसके अंदर दूसरा केस, उसके अंदर दूसरा केस, ऐसे. So we or you can understand it like layers, sheath. Okay. तो इसमें ना लिटरली ऐसा नहीं है कि एक के अंदर दूसरा, लाइक एक बॉक्स के अंदर दूसरा बॉक्स, ऐसे नहीं. Just for your understanding, you understand it that way. Actually, the casing, the sheets are, the koshas are based on their subtlety. So when we go from Annamaya Kosha to Anandamaya Kosha, it becomes more and more subtle, more and more sukshma, every kosha. So let us look at the Pancha Koshas, which are the 5 koshas. Here. So these are the 5 koshas. Our individual body is divided into Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. These are the 5 sheaths, the 5 koshas in which our personality is divided based on the functions. So, can you see this slide? It's important. So basically, Annamaya Kosha is nothing but our Sthula Shariram. So Sthula Shariram is termed as Annamaya Kosha when we do function-based division. Then Karana Shariram. Anandamaya Kosha is nothing but our Karana Shariram. It is a different name for the Karana Shariram when the division is done based on the function. But the Sukshma Shariram, that is subdivided into the 3 koshas. The middle 3 koshas, the Pranamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, and the Vijnanamaya Kosha together form our Sukshma Sharira. Okay. We'll go in detail of each koshas, but for now we have to understand that Annamaya Kosha is nothing but the gross body, the Sthula Shariram. Anandamaya Kosha is the same as the Karana Shariram, the causal body, and the Sukshma Shariram that we have seen in so much detail, that Sukshma Shariram, it gets divided into 3 koshas. That is the Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and Vijnanamaya Kosha. So these are the 5 koshas. Annamaya Kosha, the gross body, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and Vijnanamaya Kosha together, the subtle body, and Anandamaya Kosha, which is the causal body, the Karanasha. Okay? So it's 6:17 and we should end here. We'll look into this topic in detail in the next class. Anything anyone wants to ask or discuss? All right, then we'll end. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you, everybody.